Today on this episode, guys, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful paneled door with beadboard insert and nice cope and stick joinery using router bits. So stay with me. It's going to be fun. Well, here is my next commission project. If you don't recognize it, it's only because you haven't been following me. I made the end grain countertop that was actually mounted on this, and the customer since then has approached me because, as you can see, this thing's a piece of crap. So what we're going to do is replicate this entire thing. We're just going to use this as a pattern and make it how it is, only we're going to make it a lot stronger and it's going to last a lot longer. As you can see, it features raised panel doors. There's actually 2 panels, and I'll show you how to make those. And it also has 4 drawers down the middle, and I'll take you through the process on how to make dovetails for your drawers. So we're going to go ahead and just start with the raised panel doors. Now, as you can see, I have my carcass already assembled, and I just need to do some minor sanding, but I'm ready to do the 2 panel doors. Let me turn this around so you can see. Now the doors are going to go on either side, and there are going to be 2 panels in the middle. So it's going to have 3 rails and then 2 stiles on either side. Now when you measure for your rails, you need to accommodate the 3/8 inch tongue that's going to go in this side and that side. So that's 3/4 of an inch total that you need to add to the inside measurement of your rail. So I've got it set up over here, and I made a few test cuts. I'll show you what I got. Alright, I have inside my router table my cope bit, and the cope is what you want to start with. What it does is it forms the profile and the stub tenon that is on the rail. The rails are what you want to make first. Then you want to make the profile that's going to go on the inside of the door. This is called the stick, and you'll see that bit in a minute. Because this is end grain, it's always wise to start with it first, because whenever you run it through, you run the risk of having a big blowout on the end. You want to put yourself a backer plate on your miter gauge and run it through your bit as close to the ball bearing, if not touching the ball bearing, as possible. Okay, now we're just going to change out the cope bit for the stick bit. Okay, I have the stick bit in, and I have a setup that's a little unorthodox. Normally, you have a fence with the bit buried inside of it, and the very front of the fence is even with the ball bearing, and you're pushing your work through the bit in this fashion. Now, because I do not have a fence on my particular station here, I'm having to run it through this way, between the fence and the bit at the same time. Now, I have made sure that my measurements are exact. The piece has very little play. So it will not bind. That's a good thing. But this is not a way I recommend, because you risk having kickback. Now before we do any kind of assembly on these doors, we need to do a little hand sanding on these profiles, because trust me, if you put these together and then try and sand them afterwards, it makes it for a difficult sand. So it's easier to do it whenever the pieces are apart and you can get to everything. Alright, now that I've got the panels cut, I've done another dry fit to make sure that they are going to fit just right, and everything looks good. Now these panels are a little thinner than what that bit set will actually cut out. They are actually 3/16 of an inch thick, and the channel that it cut on all the sides is a little thicker than that. So these panels are going to rattle if I don't do anything to fix the problem. So what I'm going to do is run a piece of poplar through the router table with a round over bit, and I'm just going to make some really small quarter round molding to go all the way around this, and I'll just pin it in place, and it'll push those panels forward and keep them locked in place. Now just take you a piece of scrap wood and run it through your roundover bit on both sides. Then take it to your table saw and cut that section off at the end of the board. Then just rip it in half. Now you have 2 quarters. Now it's just time to do a little bit of assembly. And now, as you see me just do, I put a decorative edge on there with a roundover bit raised up enough to where it leaves a tiny little lip that will mimic the same profile that my raised panel bit set did. So I'm very happy with how it came out. Now I just got to do a little bit of sanding to clean it up and make it a little more smooth, and these things will be done, ready for finish. Guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the episode on how to make a paneled door. And I'd like you to leave some comments. Please rate and subscribe if you are new to this channel. Every viewer counts, and I'd love to have you. You'll get quality woodworking every week or every other week as much as I can. So until next week, guys, I will show you how to do dovetailing on a dovetail jig for all the drawers necessary for this island. So until next week, I'll see you then. Be safe in your shops. Now, just doing a small dry fit of one of the doors. You can see that my overlay, thanks. So using a bit set in your router to make 5 or 6 panel doors in this case, well, 2 panel doors, but 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these panels themselves are 3/8 of an inch thick, I'm sorry, 3/16 of an inch thick. Stupid. Now we're just going to change out the coat bit. Wrong side there, short. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 panels. Panels themselves here are 3/8. Dang it, I did it again. Now we're just going to change out the coat bit for. Quit switching hands. Now the panels themselves are 3/16 of an inch. Oh my God. And as you can see, using a cope and bit set in your router table, you can make some nice, in this case, 7 panel door. Well, 7 piece door, I should say. 2 panels.